What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Chelsea Sessions. Welcome to Chelsea Sessions. Welcome back to another episode of Chelsea Socials. As you see in the title, this will be three things Chelsea must do for tactical flexibility, and it also expands to talking about building the dream. This is Chelsea Socials episode 9, as I said before, and we'll be discussing so much more after this short intermission. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. To start, I will first acknowledge this. This has been up for a while. Obviously, for persons who would have seen the initial dates, this show was rescheduled after some technical difficulties and some things need to be rearranged as well. But this is episode 9 of Chelsea Socials. This is still a new segment on the channel, a new show on the channel, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. 5 people are watching. Ensure that you guys have liked the stream. Ensure that you are subscribed if you are new. And if you just happen to be scrolling through YouTube and this was any recommendation, ensure that you take that time to come in, give your thoughts if you're a Chelsea fan, give your thoughts even if you're a rival fan or a neutral fan, or if you have a neutral perspective about this topic. So first of all, as I said, GFC Garvin, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. You're probably at work, but I'm sure that you will drop by. You probably watch this after. But thank you for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate it. And I hope that, it was a decision that you won't regret. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And yeah, next here we have Ray, who is saying big up. Can't wait for this show. Big up to you, Ray. Thank you for joining, and thank you for taking the time to comment about your excitement about the stream. Let me know if you're still watching, Ray. Let me know if you're still in the chat. But let's get into it. Let's get straight into the reason why you're watching this stream. And I'm sure you want to know what the three things that I believe must be done for tactical flexibility and what way we can do that and tie it into building the dream and building for the future. And this is coming after Chelsea continue to be in flying form, winning matches, winning competitions is their goal, and obviously that is the aim of the game. So hopefully this show will be a success for you and that it will answer your intrigue feeling of why this is the topic for episode 9 of Chelsea Social. But let's get straight into this. Let me not waste your time. Let me go into the first item that I have here. And it says that dispel the idea that Chelsea are some underdog, plucky rather, underdog. This is not Claudio Ranieri's Leicester. They are well-resourced, well-stocked, talented squad who have been presented with a chance they never expected this season. Can they take it? And this is Jay Bert's Telegraph. He is insinuating that Chelsea have been given this chance to, I'm gonna assume that take this chance to compete for the title. And we've had this conversation on length. We've had it at length. It's been a conversation that even happened yesterday after the match against Spurs. And yeah, I mean, you see it in shirts as well, or Chelsea in the title race. I'm not gonna even mention that in this stream, at least not yet. Of course, and we may have to discuss it eventually, but for now, it's not something that I will discuss. But let me know. 6 people are watching now. Ensure you like the stream if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think about this first item as well. But yeah, we you can say that Chelsea are well stocked. You can say that they are well resourced, that it's a talented squad because we've seen that. We've seen it in the Conference League where we were able to rotate 11 players, or if it's 7 players, or whatever the case may be, we're able to do that and it still not be a case. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if you guys think that Chelsea are well stocked, if they are well resourced, and all of that. Big up to you, Rosie. She says to smash a like, show at Chelsea session some support. I appreciate Rosie. You always dropping by, showing some support. I really appreciate it. It's always good to see individuals coming in from other clubs to support the channel. I really appreciate it, Rosie. And I hope that you're doing well as well. And also I know you have a channel as well, so I will make that command as well for you, your moderator now, because you deserve it. You show full support and I appreciate it. You have a channel as well, so subscribe to Rosie as well. Yeah, I've seen her content is excellent. I love it. It's very appetizing. She will understand that pun. It's very appetizing. It's a very good channel. I appreciate it, Rosie. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys believe that that we're well stocked, if we're well resourced, and if you think it's a talented squad that we are being granted this opportunity and if we can take it. But in the meantime, let's progress to the next item. Let me get that up. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. Let's see if we can get through it because there's a lot of items to go through. Still seeing if anybody will join on the panel to stir the conversation, get another perspective. But yeah, let's get to the other item here. This one is about Graham Potter. Let me go back to this screen here, and it says, right, where is it? Graham Potter on Chelsea owners. I like to think that I've still got a decent relationship with them. They're smart guys. They're ambitious. They want the right thing for Chelsea. So I don't think for one second that they're doing anything because they want to ruin my football career. Football happens and these things happen. It's a combination of a lot of noise around, and they were new to it all. Interesting. That's very interesting. This is from December 3, 2024. This would have been last week Wednesday, if I believe. So it says, obviously, this is something that I found very funny. I mean, yeah, I mean, I understand his point. He's saying that obviously we know that they gave him a 5-year contract, believing that he would be the next best thing. They believe that he would be able to do what they wanted. They believe that he was the ideal manager to build with long term. Obviously, we know that that didn't even last a year. It was around what they appointed him in September, late September, and then he was sacked around what, March, April, something. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't even a year. That's all that matters. They gave him a 5-year contract, and then they opted to sack him after they sacked Tuchel days before that. So it's crazy. And when I say days before that, I mean as in they sacked Tuchel, and then days later they got in Graham Potter. So it was even for a year that they had Graham Potter. So it was crazy that we went through 4 managers at that time. It was crazy, but it is what it is. We move. But yeah, I like the point that he made. This it was the it was a time where obviously Todd Bowley. Obviously that would have been the season after that. But we that was the season where, or that summer rather, that we saw Todd Bowley being the interim sporting director. He was going around having meals and seeing great meals, wonderful food, and all those stuff. He was the sporting director at that time. We didn't have any of the individuals like Paul with Stanley, obviously Lauren Stewart. We didn't have Joe Shields. We didn't have, well, Christopher Vivell joined in October, then he left very early after that. But yeah, that was a time where we didn't have any sporting director, not any. We didn't have anybody that really understood football to its full length, understanding that you could get a bargain here or don't make these signings, or maybe this suits the profile of the manager and all those stuff. So yeah, we can obviously talk about that. We can always look at the fact that at that time, we heard that Todd Bowley had a meeting with all of the other clubs, the personnel from the other clubs, or whether it's owners or representatives. He had a discussion and asked, who do you guys think is the best manager that we can go for long term? I don't know how true that is, but that is what we would have seen. I was trying to see if I could find that as well to align it to this conversation about Graham Potter and what he said on the, what is this, High Performance podcast on YouTube. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking about this. Let me know if you've seen some evolution of what we've seen we would have seen in that first summer window of Todd Bowley, Clearlake Capital ownership, that the consortium ownership. Let me know what you guys think. And big up to you, Tobago. He says big up Ty and everyone. Big up to you, Tobago. Thank you for joining in the chat. Appreciate it. I hope that you are doing well as well, Tobago. I hope you're good. Um, but yeah, we obviously know that it was a time where the owners just simply did not know what to do, and as a result, they made some rash decisions. They believed that Tuku was didn't align with their plans, and as a result, they said, okay, we need somebody to be on their side. Probably that's not the right way to term it, but they need someone that will agree with them. And apparently, according to reports, if you believe the reports and the news that came out, it was a case where the communication just simply wasn't there as they wanted it to be. And we see how it's gone full circle apparently with Maresca, where there's more communication, there's more of a case where they're saying that you know we need the manager to have a say. We need the manager to let us know what he wants. And people still say that that Maresca was brought in as a yes man. We're yet to see that he doesn't give that impression. He's very vocal. He's very conservative with his comments as well. So he knows what he's doing. He's a very classy man. He's a very calculated individual, whether it's on a pitch, whether it's in press conference. He goes back to the whole title race conversation and the persistency of the media, of not only the manager but also the player to say that we're in the title race. I'm not going to expand on that because if I talk about it, we're going to have this conversation for a long time, and I want us to progress to the next item. But let me know what you guys are thinking about the two items. First one, it was about the fact that Telegraph were saying that we have a well-stocked, well-talented, well-resourced squad and team. We have a club that is well-resourced, well-stocked, and talented. It's a talented squad. So let me know what you guys think about all of that. But we will move on to the next item. As I said, we have a lot of items here to discuss. So let's move to the next item here. Ensure that you guys are liking the stream. The likes are not bad at the moment, so fair enough. But make sure that you guys show the stream as well. Let's get this out. Let's push the algorithm to make that decision to, give the algorithm no other choice but to push it even further. So yeah, like the stream and let me know you guys' thoughts as well. Push the stream further by liking the stream and share it as well. All right, let's move to the next item here. This is from Fad Ahmed. Big up to him as well. Big up to him as well. This says a key element of Clearlake's plan from the outset was to dramatically improve the quality and scale of Chelsea's data analytics to inform every aspect of the sporting operation, from performance and injury prevention to player recruitment. That push has now led them to hire Sachin Gupta. Hope I didn't butcher that name. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm the destroyer of names. But it's Sachin Gupta, Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations for the Minnesota Timberwolves and one of the most high-regarded analytical minds in NBA. This was from at Liam Tomey and John Krasinski via the Athletic. I butchered the last guy's name, but we move. But yeah, this was a appointment that happened back in the summer. Let me see when this report was from. Exactly, it was from September 24, 2024. Sachin Gupta, the executive vice president of basketball operations at that time for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And he was one of the most highly regarded analytical minds in the NBA at that time when such a decision to bring him in was taken. So yeah, we move on from that. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if you guys have anything to say about such a topic as this. But yeah, we move on to the next item here. Bear with me. Let me get the other item up here. But yeah, as I said before, this is gonna be a long conversation. We'll see if anybody joins in and we get their thoughts. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. We will progress to talking about the players that have been recruited, the acquisitions, the players that have been brought in. We will do all of that. So let me move on to the next item here. This is from from December 2 as well. Let me get it up at a bigger screen. All right, so this is from Vince Bluefooty on X. He's quoting Gabriel Marcotti, who is saying that Cole Palmer is no longer carrying Chelsea. Let me put this in this frame. Yeah, should be better now. So it says Gabriel Marcotti says Cole Palmer is no longer carrying Chelsea, and that's a good thing. It's not that he was subpar. In fact, he offered up his usual threat on the ball and delivered a glorious goal to seal the 3-0 win over Aston Villa. It's just that the supporting cast are now clicking nicely. And that is something that I think is very important to take into consideration. Um, we are aware of the fact that even against Spurs, because this would have been after the Aston Villa match, and obviously we would have played 2 matches since then. But we've seen that even it's even testament to the fact against Spurs, it wasn't the Cole Palmer show. It's not Cole Palmer FC. When Cole Palmer was having an issue where he was being marked out of the game, and that's down to Maresca as well, taking advantage of the fact that his player is being marked out of the game, and he took that chance to, to give the opportunity to example like an Enzo Fernandez, give that chance to a Sancho. We know that people were not fancying Sancho to start on that left hand side because they're saying we need a quick play on that left hand side. But Sancho did well. He scored a goal. He started back that momentum of getting back in the game against Spurs, and so said so done. We got that goal. We had chances to make it level. But the whole essence of what Gabriel Marcotti is saying is that and I think that's factual. People say that he's not been the same player as last season. Obviously, it's not a case where he's the one that we have to depend on. We can rely on if he's being marked. Oh, you have an Enzo Fernandez who can progress forward, be the advanced midfielder, and also dropping deep to support the midfielders that are somewhat more defensive. But we know that if Cole Palmer is marked out of the game, that is an avenue for players like Sancho or an avenue for players like Enzo Fernandez to step up, because then you're offering the opponent a new challenge. You're giving them the chance to say, okay, what are we going to do? We can mark out Cole Palmer, but Enzo Fernandez has been classy. He can make a good pass here. What are we going to do? We're going to mark Enzo Fernandez too. And then that leaves gaps and that leaves Jackson a chance as well. Then you have Neto as well. So it's a case where it's a tactical flexibility there. It's flexible in that sense, because when you think about the tactics of Maresca, and I don't want to go into the tactical aspect of it too much, but you cannot divorce it from this topic, especially when talking about flexibility tactically. Maresca has utilized somewhat of what I would say a 3-2-5 structure, where you have a 3-man defense, where you have Kukurea, who's been more defensive at times, and then you obviously have, if it's Augusto, or rather in recent games, for example, against Spurs, initially we saw Caicedo being that inverted right back, where he's playing in a deeper role and he comes in to support the midfield to make it a 3-man midfield. We've seen that's the case. So yeah, we see flexibility there. We see an understanding that Maresca has worked with the team to say that, okay, Cole Palmer was the man for the job last season, but we're gonna try to move away from that. We're going to isolate that situation. We're gonna not replicate that, because if Cole Palmer has a stinker, we don't want it to be a case where nobody else can deliver. And that is something that's fantastic. That's the flexibility. That's the fact that if one thing isn't working, and we saw that, speaking about things that did not work, we saw Badia Shield against Spurs on that right hand side of the centre back pairing of him and Levi Cole. And a left-footed player, it's common knowledge in football. If you're left-footed, if you are a player that that has the capabilities to play more efficiently on the left on with your left foot, or ideally on the left hand side, you're gonna prefer to get the ball onto your left. And we kept seeing that he kept trying to evade the high press, the physicality that Spurs came with, and that was something that Maresca recognized that maybe we can probably try something different, probably try to rotate the position, move Badiashile to the other side, move it to the left hand side, and then maybe we can bring on Augusto. Taking off Lavia concussion and all that, whatever the case may be. We saw Lavia come off. It was a bold move, by Maresca, taking off Lavia because Lavia was actually one of the better performing players in that first half. But making such a great decision and a grand decision as well to take him off, bring on Gusto, and then find a way to, to allow Badescu to be on a side where he's ideally going to be able to make better passes. Although he had more sting fests, it was a sting fest from him. He had a poor game otherwise than that. He tried his best. He won back the ball a couple of times, fair enough, but he had a poor game in other aspects. And anybody that knows this channel, if you've been watching this channel long enough, you know that Badiashile is a player that I've always vouched for. I've always tried to back. But at the same time, it's fair to criticize the player. And I mean, he's still a young player. He could still come good. I do believe that when you look at the fact of who Maresca ideally prefers, definitely it most likely could be that he ideally prefers to utilize Badiashile in the absence of Wesley Fofana, who most likely will not be playing for the rest of the year. We're in December. December is almost finished. It depends on how long he's out for, and hopefully, it's just gonna be for the for the December period, and perhaps he comes back in the mid part of January. Hopefully, for Fofana, because we definitely need that competition. Tosin is obviously another option that you could have played on that right hand side. Maresca didn't opt to do that, which fair enough. I guess he has a plan, but eventually this is tactical flexibility. The fact that Maresca was able to to make that decision, bring off Lavio and bring on Gusto, where we saw Gusto making more crosses, he was taking shots, he was able to be an impact, giving that chance to Enzo to drop deep, and then you have him playing somewhat of a 10. He's not a 10, don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying. Gusto is not a 10. But by coming forward and being an additional outlet, in that offensive aspect, it's a fantastic thing. It's 100% fantastic. Let me know what you guys think, though. Let me know about the tactical flexibility here. Let me know what you think about what Gabriel McCarthy says here about the fact that it's not a Cole Palmer FC anymore. It's not just Cole Palmer team where Cole Palmer is the star of the match and nobody else is shining. We see that. We see Neto shining. Neto had struggles here and there, but he was still doing his best. Jackson was isolated a couple of times. He was able to run in behind a few times. Sancho, obviously, we know he scored that goal to bring back up the momentum. And they said that the Hezwin job, they believe that they could come back, and that's the mentality being built. Maresca has, he has evolved things. He has made things new. He's actually allowed the team to have that firm belief that okay, we're 2-0 down, but we can actually come back and get our results. And so said, so done. We win 4-3 against Spurs as their ground. And I'm trying so hard to fight back saying 3-point lane. But yeah, that's just the facts. That is just the reality. But let me know what you guys think about this. Let's move on to the next item here. Let me quickly move to the next item here. But let me know what you guys think about what Gabriel Marcotti says here, or Gabriel Marcotti, whichever way it's pronounced. But yeah, let me know what you guys. I'm intrigued to know what you guys think about that item in particular and everything else we've discussed as well. Tobago is saying hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, appreciate it. Tobago, appreciate it. But yeah, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Let me move on to the next item here. Bear with me, guys. Let me go here. As I said before, there's a lot of items here, so let me progress to the next one. And all right, this one is more so discussing the sporting directors. We're talking about the sporting directors here now. Let me get this in a bigger frame. All right, perfect. So we speak about this now. This is from Chelsea FC Matters. It says Chelsea are out of the overhaul business. The squad, contract, and salary structure are now broadly where Clearlake want them to be. So from here on, the upgrades will be more targeted, and the desired gains inevitably more marginal. 100%. I do believe that the overhaul business is actually gone. I mean, we have options that we can recall. We know Leslie Ugochukwu is obviously also on loan Southampton. He's most likely to be called back. I think Cassidy and perhaps other option may go out. And we may see that, and that's the case. We have a squad that's young. And you progress with talking about the young players as well. Obviously, you see in the thumbnail, we have KG Paris there. We have the likes of Estevan William. We have Aaron and Telmedo as well. We will discuss those players. We're going up there quickly. We're gonna progress up to that aspect as well soon. So be with us, be with me, and as we progress there, it's a step-by-step process as well. Talking about Chelsea and all of that. So yeah, but Chelsea out of that overall business, I would say as well. The squad, the contracts, and the salary structure is there. We obviously know that we're prioritizing the salary structure. Obviously, we know that the whole issue with Victor Osimhen not coming in and all of that is the fact that we are trying to keep that structure stable. We're trying to ensure that there's happiness. And I mean, we saw that, maybe that can impact Chelsea's, potential signings. We may not get players that fans may believe could, change the favor or change the odds for Chelsea in terms of the attack. Because people probably want Victor Osimhen to say that, okay, he's been capable of doing this at Napoli. Obviously, his season has not been the same, or the caliber has not been the same in terms of the season that has gone now as to now. But we can say that that um we've seen that stability. We've seen that if there's no consistency before now, the consistencies that we've tried to eradicate, we try to ameliorate the fact that we have players who may want a big contract or want to be earning a certain amount. We have done our best to ensure that the salary structure remains the same, and that, even if we have players who are earning around 200,000, it's not every player. Or it has to be a case where you work for it. We saw that a couple of years ago where they're saying that, and it reminds me of FIFA or FC 20 or FC or whatever it is you call it. Um, you see that case where you have bonuses. It's a case where you earn, you work for it, and then after that you get to a certain amount where you're able to acquire such amount of a salary. It's not a case where you come in and you don't prove yourself. You have to prove yourself that you're worth it. And we saw that with Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer got a pay rise. We saw that with Reece James, got a pay rise. We saw that with other players. Jackson, we saw that a new contract and all that. Enzo Fernandez and all of that. We saw that you have to prove yourself before you get, that sort of salary, and that's important, and I value it and I respect it. So they're a business minded individual. The personalities that they have is business driven, and business driven doesn't mean that, okay, we just want business and we just care about profits. No, that's not the case, because I'm sure, and I'm not the only one that has said this, and it's common knowledge. A businessman or businessmen know that the best way for you to keep earning profits is by ensuring that the entity that you have ownership or you have shares in, it's actually growing. It's growing up. The stability is there and it's growing up. And I believe that that's what they've noticed. They've noticed that in order for them to actually benefit, even if that's their intention, which I highly doubt, but if it is their intention, they're going to actually want to ensure that the team is doing so well that that no matter what, even if the team isn't having a great season and all that, they can still acquire the best, or they can get the best out of a situation like that. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about these two individuals here. We have Lauren Stewart on the left and Paul Stanley. They both look very happy, and I think Chelsea fans are happy with the current situation with Chelsea. Second in the league, 4 points behind Liverpool. Obviously, they didn't play their match. They didn't get to play the Merseyside derby because of weather and safety measures. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this, and I'll progress to the next item here. Let's move on to the next item here. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys think about these personnels, the sporting directors, and yeah, I want to hear what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys think as well. But yeah. Right. So let me go to the next item. Um, right. So yeah, make sure that you guys are sharing the stream, you're liking the stream, and you subscribe if you're new. It says 7 people are watching right now. Yeah, let's move on to the next item here. This is actually fascinating. This is from let me show you guys are seeing it. This is from EBO 2017, or EBO simply. It says Chelsea have 90% of their title winning team assembled. Interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. So this says Maresca plays Casado and Lavia together as number sixes, whilst maintaining dynamism via inverted fullbacks. Palmer is unstoppable. Neto plus Jackson in transition. Technical base is wild. Just need more physicality and a goalkeeper. I think I agree with that last point. So let me know what you guys think as well. What do you think that Chelsea have 90% of their title winning team assembled? Do you think that that's the case? Because I don't think I would say that. I think it's kind of early to say that. Obviously, as I said before, I don't really talk about Chelsea in the title race and all of that. I don't believe that that's a fair argument. I don't think that we should be saying that. But yeah, we know that the media want to instigate that. They want to try to push Chelsea to say that they're in the title race. And we've seen more reports come out after the Spurs match and say that we're mentality monsters, and those are matches you have to win if you want to stay up there. I do believe that we can say we're in the title race. I don't think we can say that in terms of saying that we're going to challenge for it. A lot of people are mixing up title race and title challengers, and we could challenge for the title if we win matches and if we keep getting results after the January period into February. But I don't want to say we're title challengers. I don't think that. I mean, it's good we're getting results, and I mean, the only reason we're in that conversation is because we're getting results. It's simple as that. And being second in the league means that you're rivaling the team. Naturally, that's what it means. The team that's in first place, you're naturally challenging them for that top place spot. So obviously, they're gonna try to propose that, yes, whether they want to put this out in the media and say that, oh, we're not in a title race, and oh, we're taking it one game at a time, and oh, we're not up there with Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal and all of that. But that's the case. You're trying to preserve the mentality. You don't want to add that high pressure to the players. You don't want them to think that, oh, we must deliver this. You can deliver it if you're the underdogs. Yes, we've seen that. A lot of teams have done it. A lot of teams have won the Premier League when they're underdogs. We saw Leicester City do that 2015-16. We saw that. But it's down to the fact that you must be able to deliver when it matters. We dropped points to Man United, we dropped points to Arsenal, we lost Liverpool, and obviously we lost to Manchester City in the first game of the season, and obviously we know fans are obviously unhappy, and they say, why could we not play the Manchester City of new? Why do you have to play that Manchester City at the start of the season? But it is what it is. It was still early, but we'll have to see what happens. We have a lot of games coming up. Our next match is on Thursday, I believe. So yeah, we have a lot of matches that are going to be in this period. It's a very festive period for more than one reason. And yeah, we progress from that. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think that 90% of the title winning team has been assembled? Because I don't think that that's the case. I think we have a long way to go in terms of 90%. But we'll see what happens. We'll have to see what happens as we progress to the next item. Let me know what you guys are thinking as well. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are thinking as well. But yeah, let's progress to the next item here. Let's progress to the next item here. Um, what's next here? Right. So, as I said before, we're getting closer talking about players like Adria Santos, Esteval, Willie, and Kenji Paris, and Aaron Alson. Obviously, we have other players who are out on loan that perhaps you don't know if their features even at Chelsea. But let's move on to this. This is from Who Scored. This is also from December 2 as well. Let me ensure that you guys are seeing this in a better frame as well. Obviously, this is somewhat outdated. Obviously, as you guys know, this was scheduled for last week, so this is not as current because, as I said, this is a week later. So December 2, 2024, this was the case. There's big chances have been created more from Palmer, and as well. So, but yeah, this is what it was. I think we can probably progress quicker past this because this is somewhat outdated. But this says most big chances created in the Premier League this season. This says Bukayo Saka is on 16, Cole Palmer is on 10 at that time, and all that. But we can progress to the next. Let's move on to the next item here because there's not much really to talk about there. But let's move on to the next item that we have down here. As I said before, we're getting closer and closer to talking about the the next aspect. We talk about the young players building the dream, building for the future. And this is the next thing. This is about Robert Sanchez, something that is actually fascinating in my opinion. It's very fascinating. But this is what it says. Let me put this in a bigger frame so you guys can see it. This says that the best save success rate in the Premier League this season. This is December 3. This says Robert Sanchez, 81%. 77%, probably this is probably different, perhaps somewhat. 77% Nick Pope, Kelleher, and Andrea Onana, 75%, and then Matt Seltz, 75%. We can progress to this. This is somewhat outdated, so we want to progress to something that is more current. Talk about something that is actually relevant to the present. We're going to talk about Andrea Santos. You see Esteban William there multiple times. But let's move on to this item here, where we talk about the fact that Chelsea FC's future is safe. This is according to Rising Stars I or 11 in terms of Roman numerals. So we talk about this. So it says, I would add some youth academy talents as well. This is about Tyreek George, who's 18, Josh Ochingpong, 18, Keanu Diot, this is 17. He's 17 as well. Shim McQuicker. I gosh, I just butchered that guy's name, but he's 17 as well. And then you obviously have this, you have some South American talents that will arrive to come up soon. Obviously, that's Aaron Anselmino, who's 19 SFO, which is 17. I think probably that will obviously change eventually as well. KJ Price will be 18 and all of that soon. Casado, 23, currently. He's 21. 21 is Cowell. Jackson, 23. Cole Palmer is 22. Enzo Fernandez is 23. Gusto is 21. Madueke is 22. Lavia is 20. Fofana is 23. Right, so the future. The future is bright. If we think about it. We have players who are still yet to return into the frame. We have obviously Leslie Ukuchukwu, who is obviously on loan, as I said before, at Southampton, and obviously Andrea Santos obviously is another option that we have to consider. But let me know what you guys think. Would you say that our future is safe? Would you say that the future is safe? Would you say that taking into account that Tyreek George, who's been in and around the team, he's played in the Conference League and all that? Let me know what you guys think. Would you say that the Chelsea's future is safe? Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know how you feel about this item in particular. Rising Stars 11. Big up to you, the man of the hour, the man of the moment right now, GFC Garvin. Big up everyone. Big up to you, Garvin. Thank you for joining. I know that you're at work. I appreciate you coming and giving some support. I appreciate it. Big up to you, Garvin. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I move on to the next item. As I said before, we have a lot of items to go through, so we will progress to the next item here. Where is it? Right. So we're getting closer to talking about Esteban William, as I said before. The next thing is Aaron Alcemino. Right. So this is about Aaron Alcemino. This says Aaron Alcemino is an elite talent. He likes and knows to defend. He has the right balance of aggressiveness and passivity, and is a technician, fast. He's a dual winner. He is very composed, and according to Daniel Scouting, he says that he's sure he can invert into midfield. He has the mental and technical skills. He's simply a great player. And we know that Aaron Alcemino is an option. We've seen reports saying that Aaron Alcemino is an option that Chelsea are keen, or they're likely to perhaps bring back in January. That item is going to be there as well. But yeah, Aaron Alcemino, the Argentinian that we signed, and obviously, he's with the shirt there that would have been back in the summer. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know. We're talking about Aaron Alcemino here. Aaron Anselmino is an elite talent, as Daniel says here, and I think the future looks bright in terms of that. We have defenders, we have players that can come back in and help the team if needs be. But yeah, let's move on to the next item here. Let's move on to the next item here. Bear with me. Let me look for the next item quickly. As I said before, ensure that you guys are sharing the stream. Let me know you guys' thoughts about the items that being shared as well. But yeah, all right. So okay, I'm having some technical difficulties. Bear with me, guys. Let me see if I can get the get the next item up. Try to resolve the frozen screen. All right, perfect. So it's moving now. Sorry about that, guys. Let me move on to this. So this is a continuation of what we just talked about and obviously we talked about Andrea Santos. But this is from CFC Joe. It says in 2025, Chelsea will be adding Andrea Santos, Esteval, Kenji Paez, Leslie Uchuku, Mike Penders, and Aaron Elson-Mino, just name a few. And then he goes on to say, seriously, look at me with a straight face and tell me we don't have the best project in world football. I mean, it's up there as being one of the best projects. I don't want to say it's the best project. Can't discredit what other countries are doing, other teams are doing as well. Can't do that for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking, man. 2025, these players are going to be returning or going to be coming in officially after meeting that threshold of being the right age. Andres Santos, obviously, we know he was a part of the squad initially. He was a part of the team in the previous seasons. Esteval, obviously, we know that he's at Palmeiras. He may end up playing against us potentially in the Club World Cup coming June and all of that. But Kenji Paez, the Ecuadorian, we obviously know that he's coming in. We know that we would have acquired him back in 2023, and 2 years later he's gonna be coming in. He's gonna be 18, and he'll be eligible to return, and we're able to see him in preseason and when that time comes around. Leslie Muchuku, we know that he was in the squad. He was loaned out to Southampton, as I said before. Things are not working out. That loan hasn't really benefited him, in all honesty. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking, man. Let me know what you guys feel about this in particular. Right. So let's move on to the next item here. Let's move on to the next item here. So, all right. So, all right. Right. I think we're getting closer to talking about the more junior players that we've actually acquired. This is something from earlier today, and it's on Esteval William. We're gonna touch on Esteval William now. We're gonna talk about the player. Let's go. So apparently, he says, 17-year-old. This is from Mirror Football as well. 17-year-old footballer Esteval William had a season to remember in the Brasileiro. Breakthrough player. What he won that best striker. Got that as well. Second in the league with Palmeiras. Third top scorer in the league. That's incredible. Most GA, which is 22, ever in a season before turning 18. That is fantastic work, man. That is massively impressive from the guy. 100%. That's incredible from him. Very much so. I think it's very much impressive stat for a player of such a young age. He's actually doing well, man. He's cooking up a storm, man. 100% cooking up a storm. So let me know what you guys think about Esteval William. Let me know what you guys think about Esteval William. Let's move on to the next item here. Something that continues to discuss Esteval William here. This is from Fabrizio Mano as well. Let me enlarge this. So obviously we know that William Esteval, or Esteval William, as some people commonly know him, was the best young player award and the best attacker of the 2024 Brasileiro with Palmeiras. And then obviously he says Chelsea will welcome me at the club soon ahead of move in summer 2025. So yeah, he's actually cooking up a storm, as I said before. But let's move on to the next item here. Let's go down a bit, and then we will go to this. Right. So let's talk about this. This is something that has gone under the radar. It has fizzled out. We have not seen anything about this in a while. I mean, I don't know if Maresca, had a part to play, but this is back in September 7 to be exact. From transfer sector, it says major breaking. Todd Bowley believes his relationship with Clearlake is at a breaking point. Situation said to be untenable, which is fascinating. This is from Matt Law as well. Co-owners want to buy each other out. Chelsea on the brink of civil war. I mean, we haven't seen this thing reignite. I mean, things could still not be the greatest behind the scenes. We will never know that for sure because we're not inside. We're not seeing the interior. We only see the exterior, which is the players playing on the pitch. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if it's unattainable. We don't know if the relationship can be mended. We don't know what's the situation at the moment. But what we do know for sure is that it has definitely not been mentioned. But we do know that when this came out, it was headlines. Sky Sports talked about it and all of that. I even made a video about it. Explain the whole situation, doing my whole analysis about it. You guys can check that out as well. But that's irrelevant right now. We move on to the next item here. Right. So let me go down here. Where is it? Right. So you go and talk about this. This is obviously post. This is obviously post Spurs match. So this says never give up. That's what you see in the picture. And then it says this Chelsea team have character and fight. This is something we haven't seen for a few seasons. But yeah, I mean that's a fair point. That's a solid point. This Chelsea team have character, and the fight is obviously there. We haven't seen it for a few seasons, as I said, and I'm going to be honest. Watching that Spurs match, I was 100% not confident. I have to be honest. I wasn't confident when I saw us go 2-0 down. I lost courage. And I think for some fans you'll understand why. And that's nothing to say that Maresca couldn't deliver. That's not the case. It was just a case of we know what the coach has been like in December. Charity FC, and taking into account the fact that Spurs were doing so well against the bigger boys. The big boys, they were getting results against the big boys and then losing to the other teams that you'd expect them to win on paper based on quality and all that on paper. But I lost courage at a couple of times. But as I said, Sancho's goal reignited that hope. It reignited that hope and it pushed that drive, the mentality. And as I said, a lot of content creators are saying mentality monsters. We're I can't talk, man. Mentality monsters. And yeah, but we progressed to the next item, mentality monsters. The mentality is there. We're building. This was a test, and we've passed it. We're coming from behind as well. We've come behind a couple of times in the Premier League. We came, obviously, able to come back against Brighton, 4-2. How that game ended. It was a 4-goal affair as well. 4 goals from Chelsea affair as well. It was a 6-goal thriller. Then this one was obviously a 7-goal thriller at the end of it. But let's move on to go to Andrea Santos. Andrea Santos is the next player. We're going to talk about Andrea Santos now. So Andrea Santos, 20 versus Stade Limes. This was yesterday. This was for the Liga at Strasbourg. So 100% ground deals 7 out of 7. 100% successful long balls, that 2 out of 2. 100% successful take-ons, that is 1 out of 1. 88% pass accuracy, 3 tackles were done. And then this says, from Rising Stars XI or 11, another consistent performance. And this is good. He's out on loan, and I'm happy for him. He's doing relatively well. He's getting, the chance to play, and he looks happy here. You can see how happy he is, and we'll be able to reassess him in the summer and all that, and see what we can do. Obviously we know that we have acquired a lot of midfielders, and it'll be interesting to see what we do with them. But yeah, Andrea Santos. Let me know what you guys think about Andrea Santos. Let me know what you guys are feeling. Do you think that Andrea Santos still has a future at Chelsea? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are thinking. But in the meantime, let's move on to the next item. Let's go through these items quickly, so that we can discuss other things. If there's anything, if there's any news surrounding Chelsea, I will see if I can do some news hunting as well. But racing, Andrea Santos, yeah, 100%. We go back to speaking about Esteban William here. Obviously, this is whoscored.com. It says 13 goals, 9 assists, shots 85, key passes 49, dribbles 84. That was the season, the Brasileiro 2024 season, player of the season festival, and who scored rating 7.38. And this person in the chat is saying in the replies of this by whoscored.com, so glad he's at Chelsea. He's a Chelsea player, and he'll be playing at Chelsea next season. I assume that's what he's saying. He's a Chelsea player. Yeah, fantastic. And his mentality monsters. We love to see that from our acquisitions. Happy for him. He's doing well with Palmeiras, and happy for them as well. Let's move on to the next item. Here we're getting up to the top, and I believe that this is the tip of the iceberg here, the top of the items that we have here. And then I'll move on to the next item. So this is something that is relatively recent as well. This is from like CFC. It says Chelsea's 1 billion team actually costs 892 million pounds. So it says the next time someone mentions the price of this Chelsea team, cough, at Cara 23 or Jamie Carragher, cough, just make sure you show them this post. And then let's go down to what he says here. So he says, all the fees were from Transfer Markets too, a very reputable site. Adding the 300 million spent on young loan players that haven't contributed to us in any way is so shameless from the media. I mean, I agree with CFC as well. A lot of the times, a lot of pundits, a lot of rival fans and all that say, oh, we spent £1 billion and £1.2 billion and all that. Yeah, fine, fair enough. You can say that that the acquisitions are there, but are they actually benefiting the team? You cannot be saying that after spending £1 billion, all of that, we've done this. And fine, people are going to say £1 billion is not far away from, or rather, 892 million pounds is not too far away from 1 billion. But at the same time, you cannot be taking into account 300 million, or in and around 300 million, close to 400 million, or slightly 300 and probably 308 million if you do the maths right. Um, we haven't done enough. You can't say that because some of those players are actually not even at the club. We sold some of those players as well. Some of them are actually on loan. Some of them are actually most likely going to be leaving the club. So you cannot be saying that after £1 billion, because all of those players are not at the club. A lot of them are on loan. So to say that Chelsea spent £1 billion and all of that, and they've not done this or they've not done that, that's not a fair argument, because we don't have those other additional players who are young. Those players are for the future, or those who are trying to bring in on a free, or bring in and then try to sell them on a profit and all of that. We're not seeing those players at the club. But we move on to we move on to discussing, as I said before, tactical flexibility. We can talk about tactical flexibility. I think we can, progress to talking about the tactical flexibility. I'm going to try something new here. So bear with me, guys. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find a way to get the next thing that I want to utilize up on the street. But as I said, Ray, big up to Ray, as I said before, Andre Santos, yeah, 100%. He's not in the thumbnail, as you can see right here, but this is obviously these are actually three players that we've heard more about. This was obviously a delayed show. Obviously, Andre Santos comes into the frame, and obviously Leslie Ogochukwu, and other players as well that we've acquired. Mike Penders and all of that. Those players, goalkeeper for the future and all of that. So let me know what you guys think as well. Let me know what you guys think about everything that we've discussed so far. I'm going to bring up something to see if we can talk about tactical flexibility. Talk about the facts. that we saw such tactical flexibility. The fact, as I said earlier in the stream, we saw Maresca being able to make changes. He made a mistake and he obviously he corrected it. He corrected himself. He did what he believed. I can't even talk, man. He did what he thought was best. He took off a player that has took off Lavia. He took off a player that was doing well, so that we could actually see a better result. So right, so let me try to do this. Right, so we go here. Obviously, what you guys are about to see, it's not going to be the player's name and all that, but this is tactical board. So let's go to this. Right, so as I said before, we obviously saw against Spurs. All right, let me finish this. Obviously, it doesn't show our 11. It doesn't show the player's official shirt number, but I'm doing something here. So obviously we saw obviously. So bear with me, guys. This is essentially going to be the case where we say that this is actually the setup that we saw. Let me push this over here. Actually, put this here. Um, right. So then we put the 8 here for the sake of order. Um, yeah, but okay. So I think I probably need to put. Okay. Let's see if I can put this here. So you push this here, and then you obviously have this being the 8. The 8 would obviously be Enzo Fernandez in this case. But we saw something like this. Perhaps this is somewhat too close up. Then bringing this up back to the center circle. But we saw that we use like somewhat of a 3-2-5. That's what we've been seeing recently. We see like we have 4 players that supports Jackson, and then the interchanges as well. And then let me see if I can find a way to utilize this. Right, this is not allowing me to do what I want to do. Technical difficulties, guys. I'm trying to see if I can. That's not what I want to do. Right. So obviously we see this right here. Okay, it's not allowing me to do what I want to do. I want to highlight this. It's not allowing me to do that. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's proceed. This is not allowing me to do what I want to do. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, essentially we know that this is somewhat. Let me see if I can fix the structure. But obviously we know that Palmer in the middle. Obviously we have Neto. Neto probably should be over here if we're using the actual number. But then you have this, and then you have this as well. So we saw this. And then obviously we know that the situation was that Badishi was obviously playing somewhat closer to the right back row as a fullback, somewhat of that wider centre back. And then obviously we know that he was being challenged by, for example, okay, don't mind the fact that these numbers are actually like this, but I'm going to try to utilize as best as possible. Let it be more graphical for the Spurs one. Right, I'm just putting this on, right, and I'll fix it after that. But right, so that's 9. I'm gonna fix this up after that. So bear with me, guys. Let me just put this here. And this is 11. So obviously we know that we can put. All right, so okay, I don't need 11 players. I just realized that I just did rubbish. I don't need this. How do you remove this now? Right, no. All right. Anyways, I'll just put this in here to cover that up because I don't know what I was doing a while ago. Um, and then you have obviously we saw Kulusevski. You saw Kulusevski among the players of Bazuma, Sar, and who am I forgetting? Bazuma, Sar, and Kulusevski. Obviously, we saw that. And then I'm gonna put these players. Okay, let me see if I can see if my maths can actually work here. He was somewhat advanced, so it was something like this where he had Bazuma, and obviously, or was he on this side? I'm trying to remember exactly what side he was on, but essentially, we have this here, and then you have him pushing up forward here. Then we obviously this would have been Kukulea. We saw that Levi Cole was trying to make a pass here with him. I was really trying to make this more graphical, but this the highlight thing is not allowing me to do the circles and all that. But we move on. We'll let it work. Challenges will be there, of course. But obviously, we saw that there. We know that Romelu and Van de Ven started the match, but obviously it didn't work out for them. And obviously, we know that Pedro Polo was trying to support the midfield of Spurs. And then that gave Kulusevski the opportunity to push forward. So you saw that it was something similar to what we were trying to do that they tried to do. They tried to pressurize Kukurea, who obviously had a slip, and then obviously we had this as well. And then obviously we know that every time Badeshu was trying to do something, and then we have Casado here, he kept struggling. And we saw that obviously Maresca made that change. He made that all important change. He changed Lavia, and then obviously we saw Gusto come on. So Gusto obviously replaced Lavia. I'm gonna utilize one of these players to support my point. Um, but yeah, let's see. Let's put the 8 over here, 9 here, and the 10 here as well. So then you have this. This is what you had. So this will be Jackson. Jackson was somewhat marked out by these players. We obviously saw that Jagunson came on and all that, and they were trying to do that. But let's go back to this now. So obviously we had Casino here, and then we have obviously Enzo, who was still pushing up at times. Obviously, he got that goal scoring and all that. But we saw that this allowed Enzo Fernandez to drop deep. Gusto was able to come forward, supporting the likes of a Neto, for example. Cole Palmer, who was coming here as well, linking up with him. Jackson was trying to do things as well. And then obviously we know that Sancho was on this left-hand side, coming in, giving a hard time and all that, making passes along between him and Enzo Fernandez and Palmer and all of that. So that's the most integral thing as well for sure. And then we do this for sure. But that's the fact that we saw the tactical flexibility, the fact that we were able to take off Lavia, bring on Augusto, who was favored, wasn't favored rather, and then he was favored to bring on to be brought on in that second half. But yeah, we obviously know that Sanchez made a lot of mistakes. He tried to make passes, giving the ball away to this individual here, which I'm going to simply say that this was Son or this was Kulusevski, who was also pushing forward and all of that. But yeah, we saw that was the case as well. As I said, Pedro Polo coming into the midfield, trying to support Bazuma, Sar, and obviously we know that Kulusevski was also doing this as well. But we did the defensive work. We did the defensive work relatively well. But bear with me, let's take a quick break and we'll be back after the short intermission once more. Bear with me, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so we obviously see this item here now. Right, so let's move on to some more news. So as relates to two of Chelsea's matches in February, they have been moved due to being selected for Sky Sports coverage in the UK. So obviously, so the match would be West Ham at Stamford Bridge. So we're playing at home. This is obviously 8 p.m. UK time as well. Monday, the 3rd of February. And then on the 14th of February, the next match is at Amex Stadium against Brighton. Obviously that. So those are the two matches that have been moved for coverage, Sky Sports coverage as well. Let's see if there's anything else that we can discuss before I call it a day and call this show a wrap as well. Right. So this is just out from CFC Daily. So we look at this. So XG performance for and again. So all right, so XG performances, that's how it looks. We're seeing this right now. seeing that that's the case currently. But yeah, let me get your thoughts on this as well, guys. So this is XG performances for and against. So we're more on the negative side of the line. The line, this obvious line where you see the negative 2, 4, 6, 8. We're on that side, and funny enough, we see City here on the negative side. Man United, Everton, Villa, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Southampton. Obviously, I suppose the result that they had against us doesn't help the match here as well. But yeah, that's the situation as well. All right, so let's move on to something else, and we can probably call it a wrap as well. So let's see if there's anything else. Obviously, this is something we go back to talking about. This player, Estevan William. Once more, Estevan William wins ESPN's Bola de Oro and is elected the 2024 Brazilian Player of the Season, the youngest player to ever win this award. So history is being made by Chelsea's acquisitions as well. Happy for the Brazilian, and be interested to see what he will do as well. Let's see if there's anything else. If not, we will progress to talking. We will progress to calling the show up and calling episode 9 of Chelsea Socials, written down in the record books for the another show completed. So obviously, let's go down to this. So it says Manchester City and Chelsea are in line to net summer windfalls of up to £60 million after FIFA signed a $1 million television deal with DAZN or DAZN for the right to screen the Club World Cup. So, so this is something else. So obviously, Club World Cup, that's so that is for next year June when the Club World Cup takes place. Right, so the team news for Astada versus Chelsea will be released at 2:15 p.m. UK on Thursday with a 3:30 p.m. kickoff in the UK. Maresca's press conference will take place on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. in the UK. Right, so that is information about the match that we have coming up in the Conference League against Astada, where we'll be traveling to Astada for that as well. Right, so there's another match that would have been moved. So fixture updates. Once more, we talked about Chelsea versus West Ham, which was moved to Monday Night Football on February 3rd for Sky coverage. Brighton versus Chelsea obviously moved to Friday Night Football on February 14th for Sky as well. Aston Villa versus Chelsea has also been moved to Saturday Night Football on the 22nd of February. So I think that is a good place for us to wrap it up. Let me see if there's anything else before we go. So I think that's about it as it relates to Chelsea. All right, so Chelsea perspective is life as well. And obviously we can probably talk about this as well. So Enzo Fernandez registered a goal or assist in each of his last 6 consecutive games for Chelsea. So goal, assist plus goal, assist plus assist plus assist. And that's unbelievable form from the Argentinian. Happy for him. I would make the joke about, he's showing that single life is the best thing, but essentially, all of the relationship issues and all that, it appears has given him that opportunity to up his game. But with that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining. For people who've been consistently watching, the engagement has been significantly low for this stream, but I know that for the people that will be watching after, they will correspond their thoughts as well. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Ray, for coming in. Thank you, Garvin, for taking the time to drop by and to leave a comment. To Bigo, who was here earlier, hit the like button. Rosie obviously dropping in and saying smash a like for the show and to show the channel some support. And Ray obviously did say that they couldn't wait for this show to start. So thank you once more to Garvin for becoming a YouTube member, joining the YouTube membership family. Appreciate it, Garvin, once more. And I know that you'll be watching the show after this and you will correspond your solitude and all of that. So thank you for watching, guys. This has been episode 9. Don't watch the banner that says episode 10. This is episode 9 of Chelsea Socials. This was a live edition of Chelsea Socials. Some of these shows may start to be recorded for the sake of you know, it's best to start doing these things in a video format so that we can actually have a more concise discussion rather than it being dragged out perhaps more than it needs to be. But thank you guys for watching. It was a pleasure doing this show, and thank you guys once more for getting me closer to 3,000 subscribers. Slowly but surely, we're getting closer to that milestone. But this has been Tyrone from Chelsea Sessions for episode 9 of Chelsea Socials. I will see you guys in the next one. So peace, guys, and have a good one. And enjoy the rest of your evening, your afternoon, your morning, whatever suits your time zone as well. Peace.